Greetings, Gotham. Today, we're diving deep into the concept of fear, a powerful and often debilitating force that affects us all. And who better to guide us through this dark territory than one of my most notorious adversaries, Dr. Jonathan Crane, also known as Scarecrow. By understanding fear through his twisted experiments and psychological insights, we can learn to master it. This is Mastering Fear, Psychological Insights from Scarecrow. Fear is an emotion that has been studied extensively in the field of psychology. It can protect us, but it can also paralyze us. Scarecrow's obsession with fear provides a unique lens through which we can explore its mechanisms, impacts, and how we can ultimately conquer it. Part 1. The nature of fear. Fear is a primal emotion, deeply embedded in our biology. It triggers the fight or flight response, preparing our bodies to react to danger. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is fear, and how does it function in the human mind? Fear originates in the amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure in the brain. When we perceive a threat, the amygdala sends signals to the hypothalamus, which then activates the autonomic nervous system. This leads to the release of adrenaline, increasing heart rate and redirecting blood flow to essential muscles. It's an evolutionary response designed to keep us alive. Scarecrow's fear toxin exploits this natural response, amplifying it to extreme levels. His experiments on fear reveal not only the physiological reactions but also the psychological torment that can ensue. Fear becomes a weapon, turning even the bravest individuals into quivering victims. Part 2. Scarecrow's Psychological Profile. To understand how to master fear, we must first understand the mind of Dr. Jonathan Crane. Born in Gotham, Crane's fascination with fear began at an early age. Driven by his own experiences with bullying and isolation, he pursued a career in psychology, eventually becoming a professor specializing in phobias and the psychology of fear. Crane's obsession with fear led him to conduct unethical experiments on his students, using fear-inducing drugs to study their reactions. This resulted in his dismissal from Gotham University, pushing him further into madness and villainy. As Scarecrow, he employs fear toxins to control and manipulate his victims, revealing the darkest corners of their psyche. Part 3. Types of fear and their triggers. Fear manifests in many forms, each with its unique triggers. Understanding these can help us identify and address the specific fears we face. Let's examine some common types of fear and their psychological underpinnings. Phobias. Phobias are intense, irrational fears of specific objects or situations. They can be debilitating, causing individuals to go to great lengths to avoid their triggers. Scarecrow's experiments often exploit these fears, forcing victims to confront their phobias in terrifying ways. Social anxiety. Social anxiety involves a fear of social situations and being judged or embarrassed in front of others. This fear can be paralyzing, impacting one's ability to interact and communicate effectively. Fear of failure. Fear of failure is a common fear that can prevent individuals from pursuing their goals and aspirations. It stems from a fear of judgment and the potential consequences of not meeting expectations. Fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown is a fundamental fear that can lead to anxiety and avoidance behaviors. It's the uncertainty and unpredictability of what lies ahead that triggers this fear. Part 4. The impact of fear on behavior. Fear influences our behavior in profound ways. It can motivate us to take action, but it can also lead to avoidance and inaction. Let's explore how fear affects our decisions, actions, and overall behavior. Fight or flight response. The fight or flight response is an immediate reaction to perceived danger. It prepares the body to either confront the threat or flee from it. This response can be beneficial in life-threatening situations, but it can also lead to irrational actions when the threat is exaggerated or misinterpreted. Avoidance behavior. Avoidance behavior is a common response to fear. Individuals may go to great lengths to avoid situations or objects that trigger their fear. While this can provide temporary relief, it often reinforces the fear, making it more difficult to overcome in the long run. Freezing response. In some cases, fear can cause individuals to freeze, unable to move or take action. This response can be particularly dangerous in critical situations, as it prevents individuals from escaping or defending themselves. Hypervigilance. Fear can also lead to hypervigilance, a heightened state of awareness and sensitivity to potential threats. While this can be useful in certain contexts, it can also lead to anxiety and difficulty relaxing. Part 5. Coping mechanisms and strategies. To master fear, we must develop effective coping mechanisms and strategies. These techniques can help us manage fear responses, reduce anxiety, and build resilience. Let's explore some practical methods for dealing with fear. Exposure therapy. Exposure therapy involves gradually exposing oneself to the source of fear in a controlled and safe environment. This helps desensitize the individual to the fear trigger, reducing its impact over time. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT is a therapeutic approach that helps individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns related to fear. By replacing these thoughts with more positive and realistic ones, individuals can reduce their fear response. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation techniques can help individuals stay present and focused, reducing anxiety and fear. These practices promote relaxation and provide tools for managing stress. Breathing exercises. Controlled breathing exercises can help calm the nervous system and reduce the physical symptoms of fear. Techniques such as deep breathing and progressive muscle relaxation are effective in managing fear responses. Positive visualization. Positive visualization involves imagining successful outcomes and positive scenarios. This technique can help build confidence and reduce fear by creating a mental image of success. Building a support system. Having a strong support system of friends, family, and professionals can provide encouragement and assistance in facing and overcoming fears. Sharing experiences and seeking advice from others can make the process less daunting. Part 6. Real-life applications and case studies. To illustrate how these techniques can be applied in real-life situations, let's examine some case studies and success stories. These examples demonstrate the effectiveness of fear management strategies in various contexts. Case Study 1. Overcoming phobias. One of the most common applications of fear management techniques is in the treatment of phobias. For instance, a patient with a severe fear of spiders may undergo exposure therapy, gradually being introduced to spiders in a controlled setting. Over time, the patient's fear response diminishes, allowing them to interact with spiders without intense fear. Case Study 2. Managing social anxiety. Another example involves an individual with social anxiety who uses cognitive behavioral therapy to challenge negative thoughts about social situations. By practicing social interactions in a supportive environment and gradually increasing exposure, the individual can reduce their anxiety and improve their social skills. Case Study 3. Conquering fear of failure. An entrepreneur facing a fear of failure may use positive visualization and mindfulness techniques to build confidence and reduce anxiety. By focusing on past successes and visualizing positive outcomes, the individual can overcome the fear of failure and pursue their goals with greater assurance. Part 7. Batman's personal insights and experiences. Throughout my journey as Batman, I have faced countless fears and challenges. I've learned that fear is a constant companion, but it doesn't have to control us. By understanding fear and developing strategies to manage it, we can harness its power and use it to our advantage. Whether it's facing the fear of losing loved ones, confronting powerful enemies, or dealing with the uncertainty of the future, I've found that staying focused, maintaining discipline, and seeking support from allies are crucial in mastering fear. Part 8. Practical tips for mastering fear. Now, let's discuss some practical tips that you can apply in your daily life to master fear. These tips are based on my experiences and the psychological insights we've covered in this video. Identify your fears. The first step in mastering fear is to identify and acknowledge what you're afraid of. Understanding the specific fears you face allows you to address them directly. Break down your fears. Breaking down your fears into smaller, manageable steps can make them less overwhelming. Tackle one aspect of your fear at a time, gradually building confidence. Challenge negative thoughts. Challenge and reframe negative thoughts related to fear. Replace them with positive and realistic thoughts that empower you to take action. Practice self-care. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is essential in managing fear. Ensure you get enough rest, eat a balanced diet, and engage in activities that promote relaxation. Set realistic goals. Set realistic and achievable goals for facing your fears. Celebrate small victories along the way as they build momentum and confidence. Seek professional help. If your fear is overwhelming or interfering with your daily life, seek professional help from a therapist or counselor. They can provide guidance and support tailored to your specific needs. Build resilience. Building resilience involves developing coping skills and strategies to handle stress and adversity. Strengthen your resilience by staying positive, staying connected with others, and staying proactive. Part 9. Conclusion. In conclusion, fear is a powerful force, but it doesn't have to control us. By understanding its nature, recognizing its triggers, and applying effective coping strategies, we can master fear and use it to our advantage. Remember, fear can be a tool for growth and self-improvement when managed correctly. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the depths of fear. Together, we can face our fears and emerge stronger and more resilient. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and always strive to be the best version of yourself. This is Batman, signing off.